In the blink of an eye, the first quarter of 2025 is done. If you haven't done anything productive, maybe it's time to rethink your life decisions. I'm just kidding, but you know what I'm not joking about? The smartphones launched in the first quarter of 2025. It might only be April, but there have been a lot of new phones debuted in the Philippines this year. And in this video, we'll be talking about the ones that are priced under 45,000 pesos. So if you have a slightly bigger budget for a new phone, this video just might be for you. So without further ado, I am Dwayne from Yugatech, and let's dive right in. Before we start the video, we have to mention that the phones on this list were launched in the first quarter of 2025 in the Philippines. Prices listed reflect the most updated pricing details from official online listings at the time of recording. In other words, prices may be subject to change without prior notice. Let's start things off with something fresh, like the Poco F7 Ultra. It's the newest addition to the Poco F series lineup this year, and it is also one of the most powerful Poco devices to date. What's so great about this is despite having flagship level performance, it doesn't come with a flagship price. Under the hood, it packs a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset, which is easily one of the most capable chips on the market today. It's used by flagship phones, and on the F7 Ultra, it's paired with up to 16GB of RAM and up to 512GB of fast SSD storage. In addition, it also features Poco's Vision Boost D7 display chip, which provides smart frame rates at 120 frames per second, enhanced graphics, and game HDR. The result? An Antutu score of over 2.3 million. As you would expect, it also smashed other benchmark results, which you can check out on the screen right now. With that, playing games is no issue with the Poco F7 Ultra. It can easily handle whatever game you toss at it and run it on the highest settings possible. You'll have an enjoyable gaming experience too, courtesy of its 6.67-inch 2K AMOLED display that features a 120Hz refresh rate and up to 4000 nits of peak brightness. If you want to take photos, the F7 Ultra comes with a triple rear camera system highlighted by a 50-megapixel main, 50-megapixel telephoto, and a 32-megapixel ultra-wide. For selfies, it even has a 32-megapixel front camera. Powering the Poco F7 Ultra is a 5300 mAh battery pack with 120 watts fast charging and 50 watts of wireless charging. The Poco F7 Ultra starts at 36,199 pesos for the 12 plus 256GB variant, while the 16 plus 512GB variant will set you back 39,999 pesos. If we're talking about gaming, we have to mention the ROG Phone 9 FE. While we didn't get to review the FE, we were able to review its more capable sibling, the ROG Phone 9 Pro Edition. In comparison, the FE is essentially a slightly toned down version of the ROG Phone 9 Pro. I mean, it is almost half the price of the ROG Phone 9 Pro after all. Under the hood, the ROG Phone 9 FE packs a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 chipset, not a Snapdragon 8 Elite found in its Pro version. It also only comes in one configuration, 12GB of RAM and 256GB of UFS 4.0 storage. With that, it's not as powerful, but it's still a very capable chipset to this day. This being an ROG phone, you can expect the FE to have high benchmark scores across the board and possibly an Antutu score of over 2 million, especially with X mode turned on. We have no doubt it can also handle almost anything you throw at it in terms of graphic-intensive titles. These include Zenless Zone Zero, Genshin Impact, and Wuthering Waves. The chipset is paired with a 6.78-inch FHD Plus LTPO AMOLED panel with up to 185Hz refresh rate and also has 2500 nits of peak brightness. Plus, the screen is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass Victus 2 as well. As with all ROG phones, you still have the air triggers we've all come to love. Overall, you will definitely enjoy playing competitive games on this phone. It also carries the aggressive gaming styling of its more capable siblings, so full-on gamer aesthetic from the get-go. Compared to the ROG Phone 9 Pro, the cameras in the FE are a bit nerfed. At the rear, you only have a 50-megapixel main, a 13-megapixel ultra-wide, and a 5-megapixel macro. At the front, it's also equipped with a 32 megapixel camera for selfies. Plus, this phone packs a 5500 mAh battery with support for 65 watts of wired charging and support for key wireless charging. The ROG Phone 9 FE retails for 39,195 pesos for its sole 12 plus 256GB variant. But if a gaming phone isn't your thing, then maybe the more well-rounded Oppo Reno 13 Pro is what you are looking for. It may not have the most powerful chipset, especially compared to other phones on this list, but it does make up for it everywhere else. Under the hood, the Oppo Reno 13 Pro packs a MediaTek Dimensity 8350 chipset, which is great for everyday use and even some gaming. Our review unit also came with 12GB of RAM and 512GB of storage. It may not be a flagship level processor compared to the other phones here, but it still offers decent performance. As per our review, it was able to score over 1.1 million in Antutu and decent scores on the rest of the benchmarks. With that, you can expect this phone to run most of the games smoothly with minor graphics settings changes. While performance is, I'd say, above average, you can expect it to capture amazing images as the Reno 13 Pro comes with a versatile set of cameras. At the rear, you have a 50 megapixel main camera with OIS, a 50 megapixel telephoto with OIS, and an 8 megapixel ultra-wide to boot. At the front, users will get a 50 megapixel selfie camera. With this, you can capture a wide range of images easily. Best of all, you can be sure that the images will come out sharp. To review all the photos and videos you captured, there's a beautiful 6.83-inch AMOLED display with a refresh rate of 120Hz and a peak brightness of 1200 nits. It even has support for HDR10 and is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 7i. While styling might be subjective, we think that the Reno 13 Pro is a great looking phone. But what's really surprising is the level of protection. It features an IP69 rating for dust and water resistance, making it one of the toughest smartphones in its class. This means that the phone can go for a swim and it should be fine. As for the battery, it packs a 5800 mAh battery with support for 80 watts of Super VOOC fast charging. The Oppo Reno 13 Pro retails for 43,199 pesos for its sole 12 plus 512GB variant. Last but certainly not least, we have one of Apple's most affordable smartphones to date, the iPhone 16e. It's essentially a stripped down, more affordable version of the iPhone 16, but still packs the same chipset and even retains Apple Intelligence features. Compared to the standard iPhone 16, the iPhone 16e is a bit smaller. However, it still comes with a 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR OLED panel with HDR10 support, but with a lower peak brightness of only 1200 nits. Interestingly, it doesn't have the same dynamic island and comes with a notch similar to older iPhones. Under the hood, the iPhone 16e is powered by the Apple A18 Bionic chipset found on the iPhone 16. It also comes with 8GB of RAM with storage options starting at 128GB. Of course, this being an iPhone, it should ship with iOS 18 out of the box, and as mentioned earlier, you get the full suite of Apple features including Apple Intelligence. For cameras, there's only one at the rear, a single 48 megapixel shooter with PDAF and OIS. For selfies, you have a 12 megapixel camera at the front. It also lacks MagSafe, which has been a signature feature of the iPhones for a while now. While it still supports some form of wireless charging, you will not get the full benefit. By the way, we have yet to do a full review of the iPhone 16e, but hopefully that changes very soon, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Nonetheless, if you want to have the iPhone experience on a budget, this is definitely something you should consider. The iPhone 16e starts at just 39,190 pesos for its 128GB variant. And for reference, the standard iPhone 16 starts at 54,990, which is roughly around 20,000 pesos more. Well, that wraps up this video on smartphones launched in the first quarter of 2025 priced under 45,000 pesos. Among the four, which one would you consider buying? Or would you rather wait and see if better phones would come out later this year? Whatever the case, share your thoughts in the comment section below. So, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like and subscribe to watch more. Don't forget to follow us on social media via Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. And of course, feel free to visit us at yugatech.com to stay updated with the latest tech news and reviews. Once again, this has been Dwayne, and I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.